Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an easy, natural makeup tutorial. This is for beginners and in particular mature beginners, because I know that there's people out there who are like me, who spent most of their life not really wearing any makeup at all, and then suddenly discovered somewhere between their 45th and 50th birthday that maybe their skin wasn't what it used to be and suddenly felt the need to put on a little makeup just to look more polished and to look like you, only better. You don't want to look like you're wearing a mask of makeup. You don't want to look like made up, but you do want to improve on what's happening with your skin as you get older. I'm going to use all drugstore products in this one, so let's get started with the tutorial. I do have sunscreen on my face already just because I wear it every day. The foundation I'm going to use today is by Neutrogena. It's Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. This is a new one. It's really easy to put on with your fingers. It's kind of like a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. So it comes with this big doe foot applicator. Just dot this kind of around your face along this T right in the middle. That's where you need most of the coverage because, as you know, as we get older, sometimes we have redness, broken capillaries, and then you're just going to use your fingers to spread that around and blend it out. I'm also going to be using this as our under eye concealer today because it has hyaluronic acid in it. Hyaluronic acid is really nice for plumping and smoothing out fine lines and wrinkles. It's not like an acidy acid, the kind that burns your skin. It's actually a different kind of acid where it is a water binding molecule and it holds 1,000 times its weight in water, and so that's why it helps to plump up that skin. Since I'm using it as my under eye concealer, I'm going to put a dot under each eye, and then I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead. Start with less and then add a little more. So that way you're not starting with a ton and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I look like I'm wearing a mask. This, you can build it up, but it is very, very natural looking the entire time. It doesn't really look like makeup on the surface of your skin. Continue your foundation down your neck. You don't want to have your makeup just stop here and have everything else be a different color. You can also use it kind of as a concealer, so you just take the doe foot and like I have this little spot on my forehead and a spot here. So you can just add a little bit where you think you need a little more coverage. If you have especially dark inner eye circles, you can add more there. I tend to keep my concealer in towards the inner corners more where we tend to have the darkness. The more you bring it out here where your wrinkles are, the more it's going to make your wrinkles look worse. And then where I'm using it as a spot concealer, I just basically tap it on that spot and then blend it around in a circle. Now I always like to add a little blush, so I'm going to use this e.l.f. cream blush today. You just dip your finger in there and you're just going to tap that on, bringing it forward. So you don't want to ever start your blush right in the front because you don't want like a big circle of blush right on the front. One of the things that I wholeheartedly recommend is an eyeshadow primer. Even if you're not really using a lot of eyeshadow, this really helps to keep whatever you put on there from creasing. The one I'm going to show you today is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. It will smooth your eyelids and it will also help to disguise a little bit of the discoloration up there. I just take the tiniest little amount on the back of my hand and then I pick that up with my finger. Just half of it, not all of it, because this is going to go for both eyes. And then all you do is just rub it on your eyelid. So that makes a little bit of a difference already. It's kind of disguised some of the veining in my eyelids. It's not really a color, but it does do a little bit to just even out the skin tone. For the eyeshadow today, I'm going to use a couple of products that you can also apply with your fingers. The first one is the Sephora Colorful Shadow and Liner. It's a chubby pencil. This one is matte and it's also waterproof. To make your eyes pop a little bit, you want to add some darkness into that crease and you want to keep the movable part of your lid a little bit lighter. Take this crayon and I'm going to just draw it right in the crease and kind of at the outer corner of my eyelid. And then again, I'm going to just blend that by tapping it. And that's going to help to just give my eyes a little extra definition. Repeat that on the other side. And then that can be it for the eyeshadow. If you are going out later or you want to amp it up or you do like shimmer on your eyelids, I have another product to add. You don't have to do this, but I thought these were really cute and they actually have a little built-in brush. This is Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow. The color I picked up was 730, and right here in the bottom of the package it has this little tiny brush. Just love this little guy. And this is what's going to create that lightness on the lid. So you just take that and you put it on the movable part of the lid, kind of close down to your eyelashes, starting at the inner corner and working about 3/4 of the way across. See how that just brings light into the inner corner of the eye? One of the things that really makes the eyes pop the most is eyeliner. What I like to get is the Physicians Formula shimmer strips. You get 3. So I'm going to use the Gunmetal Gray and the Silver today. The Gunmetal Gray, we're going to do tight lining on the upper lid. It's easier to do than to draw a line on top of your lid because you know if that skips or gets kind of wonky and then you got to be fixing it and oh my god. So if you just put this right at the base of your lashes, just keep your eye nice and open. I wear contacts, so it can be done if you're a contact lens wearer. You just gotta kind of be careful not to knock your lens out of place. Okay, see the difference? And if you want to do top liner and are skilled at that, you can go ahead and do the top liner as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter silver on my lower waterline. So using a light color like this at the lowers, it helps to still define the lower part of your eye without having that, you know, total black coal look. All right, so the last step for the eyes is going to be the mascara. Today I'm going to use Maybelline The Falsies Push Up Angel. All right, for the lips, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Lip Paints. This one is in number 314, Spicy Blush. And there's the finished look. I feel like on me this is just a little too shiny. I didn't realize that this was quite so luminous, but if you have dry skin, I think this would probably be perfect on its own. On me, where I have, you know, a little bit of an oily T-zone, I think it might need a little powder. So I do want to show you guys that just in case. I know this is starting to turn into a lot of makeup, but very inexpensive, the e.l.f. setting powder, and you can use that with a e.l.f. blush brush. So you just take a little bit of the powder, work it into the brush, tap it off, and then you're just going to pat it kind of where you don't want to shine. You still want to have like a nice shiny highlight there, so that's fine. I don't really like to shine under my eyes, so I usually put some underneath my eyes. Down the nasal labial folds, don't like those to be shiny, and then just on the sides of my mouth here. Other than that, everything else can have that nice, healthy, natural glow. This is a translucent powder, so it's not going to add any weight. And there's the finished look. So I hope you're going to be able to recreate this look at home for yourself. They're quality products that are going to last you through the day, so when you come back later in the day, you're not going to be horrified at what you see in the mirror. Everything should still be in place. I hope you found the video helpful and informative. As always, I thank you for your time, everybody. So have a great day and take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.